These are the mafia of healthcare, and no one can do anything about it.
They are a key link in the prescription drug industry that you've probably never heard of, the prescription benefit manager. Now, an Arizona congressman is taking aim at this middleman between insurance companies and the patient.
Proposing legislation to demand more accountability. So is this the next step to tackling those rising drug costs? Joe Dana explains the congressman's proposals and gets reaction. Joe?
Mark and Tram, we've all had sticker shock from prescription drugs. So the prescription benefit manager, PBMs, they are powerful companies. Congressman Gallego wants to shine a light on how they do business. A Phoenix pharmacy with its 1950s decor feels like a throwback from another era, but it faces a modern challenge.
I have been frustrated with the PBMs from the day I opened.
Teresa Dickinson has been running Melrose Pharmacy for 18 years.
Every year I say it can't get any worse. Every year it gets worse.
Prescription benefit managers, or PBMs, are companies that negotiate prices and rebate plans between drug makers and pharmacies. Critics allege they manipulate the system for their own excessive profits.
These are the mafia of healthcare. They're making people pay for brand names because they get rebates back, and it's not the lowest cost for the consumer.
The three largest PBMs control 80% of the prescription drug market. They are now owned or co-owned with the insurance companies they negotiate with.
By design, they were actually supposed to bring down the cost for consumers. And at the end of the day, what we have discovered more so than anything else is that it's actually increasing the cost because they have a perverse incentive to actually sell the higher cost drugs at a higher rate.
Congressman Gallego proposing 3 bills that would set up an appeals process pharmacies like Melrose can use to file complaints and require PBMs to open their books on drug pricing and financial arrangements they make.
So we want to make sure that, number one, the way that PBMs are pricing their drugs is actually based on real costs and not an inflated cost.
For their part, PBMs say they work diligently to keep prescription drug prices down. According to the nonpartisan Brookings Institute, requiring greater transparency from PBMs could place greater pressure on them to be more competitive with each other.
I am ecstatic about the bills that Gallego is trying to pass. I believe that they will force more fair contracts.
Gallego's proposals will compete with proposals of other Congress members also trying to rein in PBMs. Dickinson says time is running out as she keeps losing money every month on expensive prescriptions.
So I'm forced to take these take it or leave it contracts in order to help my patients. I am at break even.
Now, large PBMs deny the claim that they collect excessive profits from the work they do, and there is debate about the best way to actually regulate them.
So, Joe, we know how powerful the pharmaceutical lobby is on Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
What are the chances that Congressman Gallego's bills get any momentum?
You know, there is Republican and Democratic support for going after PBMs, doing something about all of this. Congressman Gallego is working with House Democrats and Republicans, he says, to move this proposed legislation into a committee, and he hopes eventually to a vote. But as you mentioned, Mark, there's a lot of money and a lot of interest involved. It's a tough haul to get legislation on this. Many believe, though, this is a good start.
All right, Joe.